Hi, Jim Humphrey from Imminent Threat Defense Firearms Training. Today I'm going to show you how I replaced the butt plate on this shotgun. This time I'm working on one of my guns. I set this shotgun down a little too hard on a concrete surface and I chipped the toe on the butt plate here. There's various repair methods, but I contacted the manufacturer, got a new butt plate. It's got to be fitted though. It's a little bit oversized. So starting by removing the old butt plate, I have to check for the hole alignment. Fortunately, because this wasn't a antique gun, the hole alignment was nearly perfect. So I'm not going to have to drill it out and refill the holes with a dowel. I can just screw the plate on and check for clearance on all the edges. So some of the edges overhung pretty good. Some of them were just about flush. So I was able to fit this by just sanding it down. I want to hand sand this new plate down to the shape of the stock by using a series of progressively finer sandpapers. The 100 works pretty good for hogging it down, and then the 240, 400, 600 in that order. I did use a lot of 150 though once I got close to the shape, so I didn't take too much material off and leave it too rough. Of course, I had to use a good stiff sanding block to keep a nice straight edge on the sides, and then I finish it off with a automotive rubbing compound to give it a nice sheen towards the as a very final step. So I started out with rougher sandpaper, being very careful to keep my angle very much in line with the stock. Particularly here on the toe, I want to extend the angle of the stock straight out the toe. Put a little extra tape on there that I had here. Let's see, I added some later. As you get down to close to being finished, you'll see that the paper will start to get sanded itself, peel just a little bit. And you really have to watch out for that. And that's where you need to stop the sanding process and the shaping process and get down to the polishing process. So once I remove the tape, I have a plate that's about the thickness of the tape larger than the stock. So at that point, I'm going to remove the plate from the stock. When I finish the sizing with the 150 grit, being very careful not to change the angle of the sides of the plate, I'll keep fitting it back to the stock to get it just the right size, because the progressively finer papers, 240 here, aren't going to take much material off. They're not going to change the size a whole bunch. So you can see with the 240, I got a pretty good finish before I step up to that 400. So same thing, 400 is pretty fine. You're getting a really fine dust off of it. Very careful to keep it straight, not change that angle. With each changing grit, I'm seeing a progressively finer and finer finish. I step up to the 600 grit. I get a finish that's getting pretty close to the factory edge here, just compared to the old plate. You can see it's actually pretty good looking. The final step is to, after the 600, is take some buffing compound and give the edge a nice finished look to it. It'll buff it up and give it a nice look. That's really about all there is to it. You can see that you go through these steps, you're going to end up with a product that's every bit as good as the original factory edge. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I'm Jim Humphrey from Imminent Threat Defense Firearms Training. Remember, if you're a gun owner, you're an ambassador for all of us. So be responsible, be safe, and always represent firearms in a positive manner. Thanks for watching.